So this is a really solid point that Fred and Brion are in right now with draft. My biggest question is, where's Fly going? Is he going to try to play the Azir here?
Or the Nocturne.
Oh, no, this isn't it.
The Nocturne!
I don't know about this one, Fly.
He's going to have his fun, regardless of if you want to or not. Cannon is also picked.
I have to say, I don't trust his ability to pilot this when they're 0-1 in an extremely important series for playoffs. This is Afreeca taking a very big risk. I respect the courage. I'll give him that.
Fred and Brion, very balanced. Not really anything too big of a note on their side, so we'll see if it works out for them once again. It's no Seraphine Nar. Fly, who currently has Prio. This is risky.
About. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, this is where Afreeca should be very happy to take these fights.
Afreeca are coming in a little bit slow, though. This is going to get low, and actually, Smite even gets missed there, but Umpty will be taking it at the end of the day. His role in this one. And then when everybody's diving on the back line, it's like, if Bang just has no focus on him, then he can do a lot of damage. Here we go! Finally, Fly is going to find his option onto the Syndra, and over the wall comes the Hecarim. That's what you do! Full speed ahead, but here's the follow-up, actually. Henna trying to get on in there. He's going to flash away after getting the kill. Now they're on top of Bang as well as Fly, who are too low! And they should be taken out eventually. That ground pound is massive from Lehens, trying to save their life, but I think at least Bang should be going down here. Even if it is to Delight, they're going to hand over the kill to Umpty at the end of the day. And that is big because that Ocean Drake is also up.
Yeah, this is the problem, right? You're going to give this up, which is better for Fred and Brion. The Mountain Drake, as you mentioned, is great for them. The Ocean Drake is going to be even more important for them than it is for Afreeca, arguably. We're going to find out what the soul is going to be, and if it's Infernal, this is actually a huge loss for Afreeca. If it's Cloud, it's significant, but it's not as significant.
Lehens now tries to push forward, regain some vision. They're going to catch the Udyr as the flash will come in, and in goes the Nocturne. And the two of them are just kind of caught out here. Udyr desperately trying to get to safety, but now the Hecarim follow-up is way too much. As Yaharong does get baited into that one a bit, but Bro want to turn this one around. Delight is getting on in there. This is a 4v5, remember. Slicing Maelstrom still available. Fly takes a bunch of damage. The cast will be flashed, but Henna goes back in for it. And now, as you mentioned, all the ultimates are down. How are you going to get on top of Henna is the real question.
You can't. I mean, this fight is almost impossible for Afreeca to really finish off.
They do have that stun onto Henna, but he will survive. Keen is the big guy who has to do the damage now. Bang's still safe, though. The Slicing Maelstrom comes out, but it doesn't do much at all. And it's just used for disengage. The stun will go down, but he just gets orbed there by Yaharong.
Fred and Brion is such a good fight, team fight and composition for them. The longer the fight goes on, they have the advantage.
Oh, Hoya baiting them all the way through. And that's going to be Bang going down as well. Lehens should survive, but that is in a very extended fight.
Oh my.
Bro's fight to take.
We're just going to go straight to the Drake.
Yeah, we're getting in here. Team fight over the Drakes, every single one is very important as Delight tanking up a lot here in the Dragon Pit. Fly looking for it, is going to get on top of Henna in that back line, but Dread is diving as well, and he's taking an immense amount of damage, and he will go down to Hoya, and Fly will as well. The dives coming in.
It's not over
yet. Not over. Keen and Fly actually doing a nice amount of damage. Fly still alive here, trying to get on top of Umpty as Yaharong is alone now, 1v2. These fights are so hectic every single time. And this time, Afreeca will get the upper hand.
This time, Fly had, it wasn't just the ult this time for Fly. He got on top of Henna, who already used his mobility, and then was able to get his passive off. Like, his passive is procking in the team fight. It's doing AoE damage to squishy targets. Henna's bodyguard.
Yep.
He has to stick with him and shut down the Nocturne every time.
All right, well, this is also an option. You just find a squishy, immobile mid laner by himself up in the top lane. You take him out, although the trade will come in. It's the power of Kaisa, I suppose, able to reposition very nicely. Lehens is in no man's land here in the river, just gets caught out. And that's a couple of kills for just Yaharong here in favor of Fred and Brion, and now they're just going to go with the Baron.
It's a free Baron here now, and, despite the vision on it, it doesn't matter. There's nothing you can do if you're Afreeca at this stage. You could try to trade back a turret, and that's all you can hope for here. And even Delight is going to try to make that even more frustrating to deal with. These are trades you can't be taking if you're Afreeca in these fights. And
this is a nice little break point for Fred and Brion. They have Zhonya's available for Yaharong and the stopwatch for Henna. Henna trying to get out of this one. That's going to be the stopwatch, but the engage is just insane from the side of Afrika. They find 3 in the front, but at the same time, Henna will survive on the back of the exhaust, and nobody dies just yet. Yaharong is going to flash the wall, and all 5 members of Fred Brion somehow, some way will survive that insane engage.
But how do you fight this now as Afrika? You know, you didn't get those kills, and now you don't have any way to take that crazy fight. Your wombo is done. Like, you're hard pressed to get more value out of a Hecarim ultimate than Dread just did there. But it's on cooldown now. They have so much sustain, this comp does, and they have so much damage. Keen trying to look for the flank.
We have TPs coming through now. Lahen's looking for the flank, but look at the front line. Fly just dies, and as you mentioned, there's no wombo. The Hecarim goes in, and he's like, okay, well, I dashed in. What do I do now? You do nothing. You run. You die. That is what happens. And that is going to be the triple kill now for the Kai'Sa. Afrika should have just let this one go because Fred Brion in a much stronger spot after they blew all their ultimates.
Afrika really, I mean, they're running out of options here. You can feel the desperation.
Yeah. From ahead, I mean, this would have looked really fantastic. But this is what happens when you're blind. You have to send in your Alistair. Now, Delight is in the front line taking a lot of damage. The Varus ultimate is going to sail wide, and the Unleashed power is enough from Yaharong to take down the cow. As Empty, he's just following the Kennen. You know, the Kennen can't really 1v1 the Udyr right now, and if you just zone him away, then you can't Slicing Maelstrom. It's great.
And yeah, if he has to use a Slicing Maelstrom to escape that or to try to trade there, then he doesn't have it for the fight. Yeah, essentially what you're saying. Yeah, and like it's a waste, and then you can't team fight anymore. Yeah. Speaking of can't team fight, without Alistair here, you just simply can't. You don't have any frontline, you don't have any staying power. They'll just turn and kill.
Yeah, this is a rough game for a Cinder to play, right? This is not just straight up and easy. As Umpty is going to find Keen here, Dread has to try to help him out. As now the Nocturne ultimate going to be used just to deny vision. That's not it.
That's tragic, you know. I mean, how can you win this fight ever now? Like, how has it ever happened?
Umpty's still going, right? There's no reason to stop here. They're just going to engage right into the back line. The cleanse is huge, but Bang now, really nice exhaust onto Henna, as he is going to be piled up on here a little bit in the brush, but it's not enough. They don't have any follow-up. The ultimates are
Yaharong wins the exchange against Fly on the other side, too.
Yeah. No ultimate for the Nocturne, so he's just lost. And this comp for the side of Afrika, it was naturally coin flippy. Either you get ahead early on or you just lose the game. And now we're in that latter half where you just lose the game. Fred Brion, really great stuff. Great consistent play in the series, and they're going to take it.
Yeah. You know, I thought we were going to see an extended series between these two. I mean, I really thought there were a lot of issues with the composition that Afrika had in the first game later on. But this game, I mean, they took a massive risk in draft. I don't think anyone will watch that draft again and tell you, well, but the chasing actually put the Nocturne into such a bad place all of the time. Like, you chased, but now you're in Fred Brion's side of the map. Look at the damage for Yaharong in this game. One of the toughest Syndra games you're ever going to play, constantly getting ulted, constantly under pressure, getting poked away. Hecarim is so aggressive, constantly following you, and yet you still top damage in the game, handled every fight brilliantly. Very good look for this team with this guy in the mid lane.
Thank you very much. Season with the final translation with the analyst desk and also the upcoming POG interview. Fred Brion is still keeping their hope alive and is becoming more and more likely to make it to the playoff with this kind of form and performance that they displayed. Afrika Freaks had this kind of a coin flip all-in comp. It all came down to their kind of execution in this game. So we want to discuss why it went wrong in this game. Nocturne, together with Hecarim, had a great synergy in terms of the dive comp, you know. Nocturne mid is not something we cannot kind of expect, but they picked Varus and Alistair in the first rotation of their pick, and then they added Nocturne and Kennen. So Alistair was in a very awkward situation where he should, you know, go in or where he should kind of defend the Varus, and also at the same time, Varus was not having an ideal option to take her, because is he gonna go for the full poke kind of comp, or is he gonna go for some of the lethality? build, or is he gonna go build some attack speed? It was really hard to decide on one point because Africa, they didn't have any synergy with all 5 picks together. Because Udyr was locked in really early, Aphelios Thresh or Jinx Thresh could have been a really counter pick into this Udyr pick because they can open up more space. But maybe Africa Fricks wanted to try some experiments that they had a success in the scrims maybe, but we're not sure about that. Africa Fricks, if they had the amount of concentration that is required in this combo, or if they had the mechanical level that they really had to show for this comp to show up, maybe this could be a case for them. But Africa Fricks, they looked super shaky starting from game number 1, and they were not there in order to make this wombo combo happen in game 2. So let's take a look at this first highlight where Africa Fricks got too excited to take a kill on that Syndra. So maybe it's also not safe to get over kind of focused on this kind of team fight, because it was really good. They were able to force the flash out of Udyr. But, if we take a look in this fight in details, actually there were a lot of skills that was sailing wide. Nocturne actually was able to, land his CC on that Wolf, and Leona was able to survive so long. So Cannon even had to burn his flash to lock down that kill, and Africa Fricks, they got so split in this fight. And Varus, because they had no vision, he was not sure whether Hannah was on the upper side of this map or the lower hand side. And looking at Africa's build, they didn't have enough item to do damage onto the front lane as well. So it was a very clumsy fight that was pulled off by Africa Fricks, and because the fight got too extended, Udyr was able to, rejoin this fight after his death timers went down. I mean, Africa Fricks, they were going all in from a screen behind, and then there was not many tools left for them to make a retreat after picking up a kill. So we have to go back to the discussion of their comp. If Africa had Kai'Sa, maybe this would add more power to their dive. Or if they had Ezreal, maybe Africa could, go in and then make their way out. But, Varus, Alistar was their choice for the bottom duo, which does not really fit their theme of the comp. Later on, there was this team fight where Africa Fricks was not able to lock down kills, even though they were able to pull off a magical combo. Maybe if Hannah didn't have mobility in this fight, well, this could be a lot better for Africa Fricks, but it was Kai'Sa, a champion that can protect herself with her ultimate. So no one was able to clean up the kill on Kai'Sa, and then Nocturne makes it back to this fight with his teleport, but only Udyr had his ultimate out of this 10 players, But Africa Fricks, their comp was about their ultimate and their wombo combo. When their ults are down like this, there's no way for them to win this fight. But Africa Fricks, they just still contested for that fight because they just didn't want to give it away to the side of Freddy Brion. Africa Fricks was not able to come back stronger in game 2, and POG will go over to Hannah from Freddy Brion. I mean, Freddy Brion took away this Kai'Sa from Africa Fricks for a reason. Africa Fricks comp, it was too obvious that they were gonna focus fire either the mid laner or the AD carry, and Hannah read their strategy like a book, and he always stayed in a safe position. I think Freddy Brion was able to win this game because their cohesion was there and they were so connected throughout the series tonight. as well, he was taking up all the damage in the front line. Africa Fricks, they had no tool to do damage on the tanky front line. And Hannah was able to draw so many attention by himself and turn it around. And speaking of teamwork, all the other players were also able to pick up the POG votes. We can say that all the 5 members were doing a fantastic work in order to take down Africa Fricks and close out their losing streak.